Hey guys, so here's what should be in your journal. Pause it and update it. What we're doing today is going to take 2 pages, so make sure you label 2 virus foldables on 2 of your pages. And we're going all the way to test corrections till, Thursday? Pause it and update your journal. Okay, so yesterday we had a workbook lesson where we talked about these concepts. So viruses were so small, they were unseen for so many years. They are the virus is made up of 2 biomolecules. The first one is the nucleic acid in the inside, which can be DNA or RNA, and then a protein, which makes up the capsid outside. So the 2 biomolecules are nucleic acid and protein, but the 2 parts are like genetic material and capsid. They need a host to replicate. And according to the 2 cycles, they both have to attach and inject, but the lytic cycle, remember, lit match, small word, fast, so it's a short word, short cycle. You infect quick, you get over it quick, kind of like the flu. They assemble more viruses and eventually lyse and bust out of the host cell, killing it. So the end of the lytic cycle is killing the host versus the lysogenic, where it puts the DNA in there and then lets that cell replicate. Lysogenic is the longer, sneakier word. This is the longer, sneakier cycle, because when your white blood cells come, they can see that these cells are infected. So white blood cells, they come, they take care of your lytic cycle viruses. They take care of your cold or your allergies or the flu or the coronavirus. But the lysogenic, where it sneaks its DNA in there and it hides, like AIDS, HIV, herpes, they can't help as well. And remember, any of these lysogenic cells that have the viral DNA can turn lytic at any time, and that's why they're so dangerous. So here is the quiz that went with it. Number 1, guys. All living things are part of cell theory. Why are viruses not included in part of the cell theory? So write out, shout out why viruses are not cells.
They're not living.
Not living, can't reproduce, can't use energy. Okay, so let's see what they say. They do not contain genetic information. Yes, they do. They are smaller than any living thing. Yeah, they are, but they could still be living. They are not able to produce new viruses on their own. Yes, that's the right answer. That's why they are not part of the cell theory. They lack internal structures. Well, that's true, but that's not why they're not living. So, correct answer was they are incapable of producing viruses on their own. Okay, a virus has a very simple structure. Which of the following is part of the virus structure? So guys, we talked about this. It's just made up of a protein capsid outside and nucleic acid inside. So, you tell me yes or no. Do viruses have organelles? No. Do viruses have a cell wall?
No.
Do viruses have a host? That's not part of their structure. Do viruses have nucleic acid? Yes. Okay. A doctor gave one of his patients an antibiotic. Which disease was the doctor treating? So remember, can you treat viruses with antibiotics? No, you can't kill them because they're not dead. Antibio. Anti meaning not good. Bio meaning living. So it's killing living things. So influenza is the flu. It's a virus. Can you kill it? Nope. Cold is a virus. Can you kill it? Nope. Chickenpox is a virus. Can you kill it? Nope. Food poisoning. You can kill it because that's caused by bacteria poisoning you, basically. Okay, so food poisoning is the correct answer. Okay, the lytic, lit match, explosive, involves several steps. The last step that completes the lytic cycle occurs when? What happens at the end of the lytic cycle? Explodes, kills the host. So ready? A, the host cell bursts. Yes. B, the virus injects its nucleic acid. That's the beginning, not the end. New viruses begin to be made. That's the middle, not the end. The viral DNA becomes part of the host cell. That's the beginning, not the end. So the end is A, the host cell burst. 5, which of the following happens as part both of the lytic and lysogenic? So which happens with both? New viruses are made. New viruses are made during lytic, but not lysogenic. Remember, the DNA is just hidden. B, the host cell dies. Nope, just for lytic. C, the entire virus infects the cell. No, it's just the nucleic acid. D, the virus injects its nucleic acid into the host cell. Yes, D. So y'all get these back whenever you're making your foldable. Okay, so this is what we're doing next. Everybody's going to get 2 sheets of paper. You guys at home can just really write these down on the 2 sides of your journal and answer them. We have time, so we could actually make the foldables. And what we're going to do is we are going to write these 4 questions on this side of the paper, and then on the other side of the flap we're going to answer them. Same with this. So pause this. The picture is also in my plan book, but pause this. Write these questions down in your journal, then answer them. So what we just decided to do instead was, instead of doing all the foldable stuff, we decided to write the 4 questions and answer them next to them. And we're about to go over it now. So instead of making the foldable, just take the questions that I posed for you. For example, Rachel's on her 2nd page worth. What is the lytic cycle and how do we remember it? And she says, lytic. Thank you. The lytic cycle kills host and assembles inside. Remember, lytic, short word, so it's the short cycle. You could even say lit match. It explodes at the end.
So,
okay.
I'm really surprised we haven't shattered any phones or another iPad because I want to say.
Okay, so here's the answer. So ready? Turn to these pages. Make sure you have these answers. If your answer is better than mine, y'all can shout it out. If you want to add my answer to yours. So, are viruses living or dead, and why? So are they living or dead?
Dead.
Dead? Why?
Dead.
What?
They cannot reproduce without their owners.
Perfect. The best thing I could say is they can't reproduce without a host, but remember, it could be any reason that they don't fulfill the criteria of life, like can't reproduce, can't use energy, can't grow, can't adapt, okay? And remember from your quiz from yesterday, how do you kill something that's not alive? You can't use antibiotics. You can only kill bacteria with antibiotics. You can use preventatives like vaccinations, keep your immune system high, or your immune cells. What your white blood cells actually do is trap the viruses and physically escort them out your body, okay? Try to break them down. You don't kill them, you break them down. Oh no, did it fall over? Thank you, Dakota. Okay. Next one. What are the 2 parts of the viruses? The outside is called the capsid, and the inside is just the nucleic acid, DNA, genetic material, okay? But the 2 biomolecules that make them up are the protein and the nucleic acid. Good. The capsids can look very different, but basically that's just the outside shell. Maybe has a little bit of landing gear to help attach to the host cell, but it's just the capsid, okay? Describe one incurable virus, which we describe as the lysogenic virus, and describe one curable virus, which is the lytic virus. So, incurable would be anything like AIDS, HIV, and herpes, and I would describe it as you have it forever. Your immune system can help fight it, but your immune system doesn't know where it is because remember, the DNA is hidden in there, okay? Curable, this would be like you could have listed the colds, you could use flu, coronavirus. So anything that you have symptoms right away, then your immune system fights for a couple days, maybe a couple weeks, okay? But it helps, it gets it out of your system, okay? And then we put a bullet on here that says prevention. The prevention that we're told to do is vaccinate, or just always keep your immune system high, especially when you are not feeling well. Okay, next pages. Okay. What is the lytic cycle and how do we remember it? So lit match, explosive, host cell dies. Also, The smaller word, that is the shorter word, shorter cycle, quick onset of symptoms. We fight it quickly and it's out. That's our curable one. Lysogenic, longer word, longer, sneakier cycle. Hides the DNA inside. It doesn't assemble viruses, but at any time, any of those cells that contain the viral DNA can become lytic and explosive, and that's why it's so scary, okay? Draw the lytic, draw the lysogenic, and what happens to the host. So I want to say, draw your best, okay, but I want to see the host die at the end, the host cell lyse open and pop. Okay, lysogenic, what happens at the end? Nothing, because the cell's going through its normal mitosis and normal replication, but instead of just replicating the host cell DNA, it's replicating the viral DNA as well. So you would show cells where it would have, like, maybe, let's just say if your host cell DNA was in black, you would have a little bit of viral DNA in red in each of them. Okay, so this is our foldable. Next thing we're going to do is we are going to look at our test review, virus test review. It'll be attached to Plan Book, and I'll send it to you on Google Classroom. Okay, so we have plenty of time. We got plenty of time.
Guys,
Yes.
that yesterday was that 6 weeks biology thing. Are we supposed to do that, or is it only virtual?
Nope. You only do what I tell you to do in class. Thank you for saying that, though.
Oh,
'Kay.
Because I did it and.
Okay, well then you're ahead of the game. Oh yeah, that's right, you emailed it to me. Okay guys, so what I want you to do is now get this sheet. I want you to do the multiple choice first, because these, hint hint, are multiple choice that you may see tomorrow on the test, which is approximately 25 to 30 questions. Okay, I want to go over this right here. Do the multiple choice first. When I see everybody did the multiple choice, I may stop you, make sure we can go over the multiple choice, because guys, all of the fill-ins are things that we just went over in our foldable. Are viruses considered living or dead? Why? Compared to bacteria, are they bigger or smaller? Okay, this is stuff that we've already talked about. I want to go over the multiple choice. So at your seats, start with the multiple choice first, then I'm going to stop you, and then we'll go over everything, but I want to make sure that we thoroughly go over the multiple choice because you'll see these tomorrow. Okay, I'm going to give you all about 5 or 10 minutes. Okay, I'm going to go over this with you while they're working. So, viruses are made of two things. The inside has genetic material made from the biomolecule nucleic acid, and the outside is called the capsid, made from the biomolecule protein. Viruses are considered dead because list 2 reasons you would consider them dead. Can't reproduce without a host, and they can't grow, they can't use energy, they don't have organelles, they can't adapt, any of those other reasons. Okay, compared to a plant or animal bacteria, viruses are smaller. Scientists did not know viruses existed until the invention of the microscope. For questions 4 and 5, circle the choices that apply. Okay, lytic. I would say this is active because the viruses are actively replicating and busting open the cell. Host cell dies, so lytic, active, host cell dies. Versus lysogenic, which we would call inactive, where it's hiding and the host cell lives. Draw a picture. Okay, multiple choice. Ready? What is the most common threat to a host organism posed by an invading virus? Pause it, and then we'll go over it. Okay. Production of viral fluids in the bloodstream? No, that's not going to hurt the host. Fermentation of acids in the digestive system? That's not going to hurt the host. Destruction of cells by viral reproduction? Yes. So it's destruction of cells is when they bust open the cells. So C is the right answer. Stimulation of muscle tone in the heart? No. 8. Which of the following is found in both cells and viruses? Ribosomes? No. Genetic material? Yes. In the nucleus? No. Digestive cavity? No. DNA or RNA as the form of a nucleic acid? Yes. Okay, so nucleic acid genetic material found in both living things and viruses which are not living. 9. People infected with the human immunodeficiency virus have an increased risk of dying from secondary infections such as pneumonia. Which of the best explains how HIV increases the danger of secondary? HIV produces antigens that damage red blood cells. Remember, the virus doesn't produce anything, it's the host cells. HIV adds genetic material to harmful microbes. No, it adds its genetic material to a host. HIV destroys helper T immune cells. It destroys cells, yes. HIV consumes beneficial microbes. Does a virus eat these microbes? No. Best answer is C. Okay, last one. Viruses can be transmitted in a variety of ways. The virus that causes SARS can be transmitted when an infected person coughs or sneezes. This virus is transmitted in a manner most similar to the transmission of cough or sneezes. Cough or sneeze, is that direct contact? No. Exchange of bodily fluids? No. Mosquito vector? No. Deposition of airborne droplets? Yeah, I think that is a cough or sneeze. So I want to say that this SARS is most similar transmission to influenza.